touchdown, but they're looking for the killer blow. That's it, back of the end zone. Dagger! He's looking. Jamil's coming. He's moving. He's got him. He's got him. It was caught, but Jed has called the sack. Incomplete. He called the sack. It's 2 points to the Hammerhead. An unbelievable sack there by Jamil. This is the last game of the day. It's caught and it's in. It's a touchdown.
That's it.
It's a touchdown. The last play of the game. The clock is at zeros. That's it. Your Swansea Hammerheads are advancing to the Division 1 final, having knocked off the 2 seed and having knocked off the 1 seed. Alan Young, you look absolutely stunned.
What do you mean by live? Genuine live?
Yes. We're broadcasting.
Hello, radio!
And now, a new episode of The Way We HNC It. Hello friends, welcome to another episode of The Way We HNC It, and this one feels like it might just be one of our most anticipated podcasts of recent times, probably particularly in Season 7, the 2024 flag football season. My name is Bez. I would like to welcome you right now to The Way We HNC It, and also welcome my erstwhile co-host, Mr. Tree Anderson. How are you, sir?
Hello, radio! Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
Tree is back in the house after another superb weekend of flag football for your squad, and
it was a beautiful weekend for flag beds. I tell you, it's an exciting week when we have in the chat emergency podcast question mark. That tells you it's been a good week of flag football. And
when there's rampant use of the flashing light emoji, that's when you know that something serious is going down. But first off, I guess it's very important for us to celebrate the end of the regular season in the BAFA leagues. Congratulations, everyone! We did it. We made it. This is for you. Friends of the show, and we've got our celebratory headwear on for this particular segment as we look at the end of the season. It feels weird that we had to say that. It's the 1st of August as we record, and it's the end of the regular season
already. Yeah, it's flown by this year.
It really has.
It feels like it has.
It feels like it has, but at the same time, I think the first game day in April does also feel like a wee while ago.
With the things that we've been through, from like rained off game days, sunshine and Ellen. I mean, there's been a mixture of everything this season, but there's been a lot happen in the 5 or so months that we have been partaking in a little bit of flag football action.
Tell you what,
it's been good though, man.
Sun shines on Ellen.
I was going to ask you about how was your weather, because I'm still sunburnt.
Yeah, you are.
You are. Yeah, look at this. Like my nose is all red still, and like I've been peeling.
Your choice of headwear is doing absolutely nothing for you there, mate.
This is the headwear I should have had at the weekend. Yeah. My Nuola other brands are available. Mystery box came this week, and it's a few days late. I would have needed this at the weekend, and my wife dropped me off something special though, Bez. I've got multi-use soothing gel, face and body aloe sort of cream.
Oh, it's the good stuff.
And it's the good stuff. Body Shop. Oh, it's the good stuff, mate.
Ethical, that is.
Yeah. So I've been looking after the skin this week, Bez. You know, hope all of our ginger friends made it out alive. It was very, very warm at the weekend for some flag football. But who's to complain? We should not be complaining.
We do complain a lot about the weather, to be fair.
Well, I said this at the weekend, though. Like, how many bad game days did you have? Like, not even bad game days, but like a wet one. Because we had Salford for when it drizzled a little bit, and the field was like a mud bath, but it wasn't bad. And then obviously there's Comets, got rained off. But other than that,
I can't even remember where the first game of the season was.
Bez.
I genuinely can't. I'm thinking about it now.
Where was the Distillers home game day?
Oh, Keith, that's where it was. It was windy.
Your
That was a nice day,
closest game day.
Yeah. 54 minutes. Yeah.
How did you forget it?
'Cause-
Unbelievable.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a long time ago. Yeah, 54 minutes. This thing wouldn't have stayed on my head. It's far too aerodynamic on that.
Oh,
particular day.
that's
But it
not
was
built
dry.
for Murray.
It was windy. But it was dry. Week 2 was Alloa. I wasn't there. Week 3 was away to Wigan, where I think the weather was incredibly poor. And then, since then, it's been
gorgeous,
been
isn't
good.
it?
Stirling, good. Edinburgh, fine. Ellen, Suntrap.
Oh, we were the same. We were in Grangemouth Rugby Club next to the Kelpies, and it was a sun trap. There was trees, like, obviously around the rugby club.
Aye.
Literally just not a breath of fresh air was hitting us, and we were all suffering a little bit. But it was good. I mean, I ain't going to complain. Sun, flag football, bunch of mates. We shouldn't be complaining. It was good.
Nice, yeah, just an easy Sunday, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Easy like a Sunday morning.
For a local business plug, after the games were over, a lot of the All Cats went to Maggie's Grill, which is at Marshall Square, and it's the best barbecue joint. It's so good. It is so good. So yeah, if you are in Aberdeen and you spend the night there, Maggie's Grill at Marshall College for all your barbecue needs, because it is phenomenal. It used to be like a tiny wee little restaurant on Holborn Street, I think. And then during the pandemic, they were doing like takeaway. So, you would literally like park your car outside. Someone would come running out with like a tray of ribs and barbecue meat and brisket and all that good stuff. And then you would just drive away. And then afterwards, maybe a year or two after they opened the new fancy Marshall Square.
I like how you're manifesting. We all talk about King Bowl ribs, right? Now we're talking about Quake ribs 2025. I mean, this is just manifestation if I've ever saw it.
I think the conversation did happen about
there you go.
About like what could we do, but I don't know if they're quite set up to send
I don't think so. No.
Family to Maggie's.
And even the venue, I don't think the ASV would let you bring in.
No, it would have had to have been
catering, for example.
It would have had to have been like a whole thing of pre-ordering and all that kind of stuff. So not worth it. But yeah, that was a fantastic Sunday. We were bad. We were bad.
Who you or me?
No, we.
Oh, you.
Cats. We were a bad football team. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to ask you how your Saturday was.
You can ask me. Well, you can ask me how my Sunday was. We'll go to Saturday first because you were Saturday, we were Sunday.
No, we were Sunday too.
You Sunday too. Oh, all right. I thought you guys were the Saturday. Oh no, you were the Sunday as well, weren't you?
Aye, we were a bad football team.
In what regard, Bez?
We just weren't good.
Oh right, so you weren't bad boys causing upsets. You were just bad.
No, it wasn't like, oh yeah, bad boys for life. It was like, we suck.
That bad.
Like, yeah. Yeah. We were pretty, we were severely, we were undermanned, but regardless, we should have, if that particular batch of game film was to go missing. Well, actually, I know that's the game film you want, so you can watch it and be like, okay, don't do that. But
don't do that.
If that never sees the light of day, I wouldn't hate it. But we got the results we needed, so.
Hey, good for you, Bez. So good for you.
It is what it is, but by God, yeah. How was the on pitch Sunday for yourself?
I had a great weekend, Bez. I had a great weekend. The bitter old man over here in the corner done what needed to be done and got his 3-0 to clinch playoff football. It was good. I mean, it's been an interesting year for us, going out like 0-3 in the first game week. Just rust. I knew that at the start of the year. They'd never played my system before. They didn't know what I'd like to run. It took time to get there, and it flourished. We ended to take away that first game day. We're 11-4. We got much higher up in the seedings of what we should be, or what we could have been potentially if we just got plugged in from day week 1. But to end the season that we did, yeah, obviously the Chargers game was probably the one naturally that we were unsure about because they've had a fantastic season. They've certainly done okay, as one would say.
They have done
They
very
have
much.
done
They have done
okay.
very okay.
So going in, that's the one we weren't too sure about. So we were looking at obviously the possibilities of 3-0. We definitely clinch it. Let's think about 2-1. The Chargers have been good this season. They've been, they've got all their key guys in. Okay, we'll see what happens in this game. And thankfully, that was the first game in the heat trap for us, and managed to pick up the wee dub. So getting a 3-0, I couldn't ask for a better way to end the season, Mr. Besley Berry, and clinch yourself some promotion football and some playoff football. Going as a little bit of underdogs into the playoffs, which I quite like. So I'm quite excited. I don't know if I'm making the playoffs yet. That's all TBC. It's obviously a few weeks away.
Yeah.
So I'm quite hopeful that I'll be there. But regardless, it's a good accomplishment for where we were, where we got to, and the improvements that the team made as the year went on. Considering the squad that we had, just depleted the whole season. It's been difficult. So fair play to the Grangemouth Colts guys. Thanks very much for a great year. For me, obviously, it's my first year with the Colts and a lot of those guys. And I think for a lot of us not having played together, I think we came together quite well at the end, Bez. And quick recap summary for you there. So it was good fun.
That was a good recap summary.
Thanks, mate. Again, I'm getting good at this stuff. I think I'm getting better with my articulation of my words on the internet.
They're the ones that'll come back and get you as well, the words on the internet.
But I won't go into too much detail in case you want to save the details for later on in the show. I'm happy to divulge in the Chargers' downfall at the end of the season, the killer bees stinging their opponents. If you want to, we can get into that later, I suppose. But
when we need to, when we realize that we don't have enough content for the reels, then we can.
Yeah. We'll add.
We'll come back. We'll
come back. Yeah, I've got so much more things I could say if I wanted to, but we'll see what happens. We have a lot to talk about, Bess, haven't we?
We do. So tell you what, Tree, pick a topic. What do you want to talk about first?
Okay, so being a Microsoft guy as my job day to day, nothing would please me more than talking about Excel spreadsheets, Bez. It would make my night. And apparently on our agenda tonight, we have written down spreadsheets. And I would love to divulge in that conversation because I believe you deserve a large whiskey / pat on the back / latte / firm handshake or a crisp high five to, well done, dude. That was amazing. Our spreadsheet was...
Spreadsheet went well. Tuesday was slightly stressful. You know what, right?
Tell us, Bez. How was your Tuesday? Because I'll come in at my point where I got invested. But obviously I was much later on. When you messaged me, then I know there's something happening. But that wasn't until later.
Yeah. So
go for it, man.
So Tuesday I was away with work. And then I got home and I played football with the village team.
Soccer ball
with the village team. Played 90 minutes.
Oh, man, we lost talents.
So difficult, man. 11-a-side football sucks.
Greg Sim can give us that rundown as well.
I don't understand it. Well, he stands in goals, so...
Oh, it says, are you saying that goalies are not people?
No, I'm just saying they're not to run as far.
Oh, okay, true.
They're cheaters because they can use their hands. So I get home, right, and it's it's after 10, right, by the time I get home, or 10, or about 10 when I get home, and I look at my get home, and I can't remember what I was making for dinner, like something quick for dinner, pizza or something, and I turn my phone over, and it's like Instagram notifications, like just popping off, right, and I'm like, what? Like, there's nothing scheduled on the podcast. I haven't.
A couple DMs came in as well. Pretty much back to back.
Yeah. I haven't posted anything, and basically, it was a bunch of people being like, "Yo, explain this," and I was like, "Okay, fine. Let me have a look." Right, I literally was late, just home. So I open up the graphic, and there's all the teams are in an order which is not ours. So at this point, I'm like, "Holy fuck!" There's my swear, right? Because it was a sweary night, right? Like,
beep, 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 beep,
beep, beep, beep, beep. Like, holy, I don't know, flounders. How have I got it like this wrong? Like, seedings are all off. Teams in playoffs are
It's almost
in.
like you'd missed a conversation.
Teams in playoffs are not in. Like, it was like I'd missed games. It was I genuinely was like, I've missed games.
Were you not using playways correctly, Bez?
I wasn't using playways at all. Wasn't using playways at all, my friend. And I'm like, oh crap, right? So then, and a lot of people sent me messages, and I won't expose them by name, but they'll know who they are. There was a couple of messages came in that were like, so how's your evening going? Are you having fun? Along with the other ones that were WTF, what is this? So at that point, I still thought it's on us, right? You know, made a mistake.
We've missed something.
Right. So I typed out like, you know, this thing being like, oh, made a mistake. Like, I've obviously made a mistake. I'll work it out. We'll be back, kind of idea. And then I was actually sent the spreadsheet with the errors that were in it. The errors which, as we record now, have, to be fair, been rectified.
Yeah.
And none of them impacted me directly, right? Like, I was in the fortunate position that, like, it wasn't me being like, you know.
Yeah, even the Colts were the same.
Hadn't been, like, the All-Cats hadn't been dropped in or out of the playoffs. We weren't, you know, we hadn't lost to final seeding or anything like that. I'd already obviously worked out the playoff draw that I thought was expected. So I know obviously around the league there was questions asked and people fed back, and it was all sorted. Those spreadsheets are tricky. It was all dealt with, and the official version 3 matches the way we HNC it 100%.
Yeah,
we nailed it.
Yes,
we nailed it. Wall to wall, nailed it.
There you go. There's
the yes! You know
well
what,
done,
guys?
Bez.
Book your damn travel. Book your damn hotels. We say you're going to Manchester. You're going to Manchester. Let's go.
That's impressive, Bez. I was impressed. And as everyone knows, I don't get impressed easily these days, apparently. But you impressed me with our spreadsheet skills in the HNC this year. Just shows how accurate we were. Just shows how accurate we actually were.
Pinpoint.
100%. Not even like a 99.9 with a little bit of a 100%.
Like a 2010 Neil Arnold pass. That's how pinpoint we were.
Ooh, that's crisp. Ooh,
oh God,
that's crisp. That is sting in the hands.
Yeah. So we were, all the way through, top of the Prem, bottom of Div 1, like the like the spinny boards at the train station. Nailed it. Nailed it. I feel like I can get my finger guns out with my Mexican hat on as well.
Oh, you do your hat today? You're right into it, yeah.
So, yeah, all went well. Tuesday was a bit of a riot, bit of a laugh. It was very late. I was very tired.
It's when you messaged me and I was like, God, I've now got to ask the Mustangs a question. And I'm like, what are they then going to react by me asking that question to the knowledge I know? And I'm like, I'll ask. And all I put in the chat to the Grangemouth team was, hey, can I just get confirmation of, I think it was like, did you guys...
Your overall record or something?
Your overall record, or like, I can't remember, did you guys lose 1 or 2 games? I kept it as vague to the point where I didn't want to prod the bear that they would go complete Baffa meltdown, like, oh, it's wrong, Tree knows something. And I'm like, so I was like, no, I just need to know. And then within like a millisecond, Fraser Thompson DM. I'm like, oh shit, what does Fraser want? And I was like, nothing. And so I explained it to him, and I was like, look, there's been a mistake. Obviously, it's probably just been a mistake. It's been overlooked.
It's just a typo.
It'll be a typo. Don't worry. If I hear anything, we'll figure it out. And I think it was like 10 minutes later. Obviously, he must have known that like Bethany and Dempsey had the spreadsheet. And then obviously saw it for himself and then could verify like what I was actually saying. Because I didn't want to like throw anyone under a bus or I'm fine to call people out if it's a mistake and they're not rectifying it. Yeah. But you know, genuinely it was just a mistake. They'll get it fixed. We know that. We can have a little giggle about it. But I was when I didn't want to tell the Grangemouth chat because I didn't want to either A, I get crucified, or B, someone at Baffa's getting thrown under a freaking bus. I was like, so I played it cool, Bez. I played it cool to get your answer of one
looking
loss.
At you right right now, you look cool. So
Thanks, mate. I mean, the hat's not really working with my headset, but I might change up to my what's the other one I had? A desert rat. What?
A desert rat's hat? I don't.
Yeah, I think I got a desert rat hat. I don't remember seeing this on the flow of games, but I did get a white ball as well, Ben. Look at this. I got a white ball.
Look at that.
I have been well and truly hooked up, and for those that know me, I've not washed my wrist coach Bez in like 3 years.
That's good luck. That is.
Always needed one. So now I don't have to wash my old one. I can just put it in the bin.
That's
And
good. Well,
I get to use that one.
I'm going to remove this because it's sliding up. I can't see.
Oh,
So
we're
I'm gonna
swapping
take this
hats
off.
now. Okay.
But, yeah, don't worry. I've got a different one.
You swapping? You swapping?
I've got a banana
Oh, I'll put my desert hat on then.
banana bucket hat. So
I don't know what team this is, but maybe it's like a baseball team or something.
I think this means it's time to move on. I think a new hat means a new topic, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
With spreadsheets, I think we cleared that. I think spreadsheets were good with spreadsheets, Bez, and now we can talk about the lay of the land.
We can talk about what the spreadsheets say.
Oh, the actual words in it. Yeah, we can
Yes,
actually
and the
look at the
numbers,
words in it.
and the numbers and the percentages, and
all the stuff and things in between.
Exactly. So final standings. Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Where are you going first?
Let's go Prem.
Go Prem. Go with the big boys.
Start with the Prem. So Glasgow Hornets did exactly what they needed to do in Ellen. They came. They conquered, as they have done for quite a long time recently.
And without Nicky.
And without Nicky.
May I add? Yeah, which was great.
You didn't look good. Quarterback.
So intelligent. I've said this for years.
Yeah,
he's
totally...
so intelligent, really clever, protects the ball. If you're going to trust anyone,
yeah, they were
cool with that.
They were completely solid under center. Scored a lot of points. Probably could have scored more if they'd wanted.
Of course.
So yeah, they were good. Hurricanes as well did exactly what they need to do. They secured the 2 seed. London Smoke versus Reading Devils. London comfortable winners in the end.
I like to highlight reel. Just
the highlight reel was good.
There was a highlight reel on Instagram that I saw. I enjoyed watching that back.
Yeah,
I don't get to see those guys play that often, so it's nice.
No, that was good. Looked like another beautiful day down there.
They always have beautiful weather down there.
They are so far. They're so close to the equator.
They are literally like in middle Mediterranean weather.
Basically, they are. Yeah, basically Mediterranean.
Not that we're jealous. Yeah.
So, Riviera. Yeah, so they did what needed to be done. They take the 3 seed Manchester Crows. Were obviously secure in the 4 seed.
King of the North.
As Kings in the North. With their cool t-shirts. So that's our top 4. There wasn't a huge amount of change there. That obviously secured the Reading Devils, the 5 seed. Grangemouth had a very good day in Ellen. They won all their games. They got themselves to 12-3-1. So they'll take the 6 seed. The Titans, they won their games too, 11-4. Chichester Sharks, 11-5. Northants Titans, 11-5. Sharks head-to-head over the top. At 10, the Oilcats at 10-6. With 11, the Edinburgh Outlaws at 10-6. Oilcats head-to-head over that. Cheltenham Neptunes did exactly what they needed to do as well. They got themselves to 8-8. Bang on 500 to round out the top 12.
Done, guys.
So there'll be some.
Did they just scrape in? What was it? They were 8-8. Oh, Salford were 6 and 10.
And 10. So
a couple games ahead in the end, which was good.
Yeah. So the Neptunes needed one non-losing.
It jumps quite big though, eh? It goes like 10-6, like Outlaws 10-6, and then even like if you go down to 3 places, that's 5-11. Like
there's a gulf.
Quite a jump.
Yeah, there is a gulf. Salford Scorpions, London Rebels, Wigan Bandits, London Spark, Coventry Panthers, Renfrewshire Raptors, Titans Bees, London Flash, Coventry Phoenix, Warrington Revs, Keynsham Kings, and Murray Distillers round out the non-playoff teams in the Prem. So we're going to do matchups and stuff later on. So we'll also just run down the Div 1 teams, which really did go pretty much like right down. Well, it did. It went right down to the final day because obviously
Aye, pretty much for us.
the final afternoon for you guys, because you had to, until your final game was over, it was still, was it still in the balance just about?
Kind of. So going into the final game, we were already 2-0 at that point.
Okay,
We'd
so
beaten
you
the
were,
Chargers earlier, and we'd already beaten the Gunslingers. So I
think the
only then found
Sharks
out
had
the
already
score.
lost.
Yeah, only then I'd found out that the Sharks had lost, which meant even if we lost our last game, it wouldn't matter. Now, I knew the result, but I didn't tell my teammates because I'm not going to make them think about it. Just go out and win, do your job. Results don't matter. You don't need to worry about it. And we went and done 3-0. So yeah, like it came down to the last game to secure it. Arguably, we would have been either the 15th or the 16th seed, irrespective of how we got in that last game. But yeah, it came down to the last game day for us. But I mean, there's a few big changes further up that like that Chargers last game day has really hurt them. Like like those two losses has them, instead of being like 15-2, in like what, the 5th and 6th seed.
Yeah, so 15-2 would have had them. Well, they couldn't have been. They couldn't have been. No, they would have been
7th?
Seven, because the top six are
Because of the
division
divisions. So they would have been 7th, and now they've dropped down to 10. Like that's an extra game that you've got to play,
games. Yeah,
which we'll
That's
talk
hard.
about later.
So
Yeah, but that's a big change.
an outstanding 777 points scored.
It's nasty.
Swansea Hammerheads are top of the table. And we're not gonna curse them yet, but we're gonna discuss them in detail over probably multiple shows. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but they need discussed. Yeah. Grangemouth Mustangs, obviously second, 16-1-1. Newcastle Blackhawks 17-2. Waveney Wolves 17-2. Blackhawks with the head-to-head over the Wolves there. But yeah, and then so they get the double bye, so they're all byes to the quarterfinals. The round of 8 teams. The byes to there are the Bucks Wolves, the West Lancashire Serpents, the Giants Blue, the Border City Centurions. So they will all get one bye. So they'll probably join us mid-morning, sorry. And then Victoria Park Panthers, West Lothian Chargers, Leeds Samurai, Nottingham Honey Badgers, Gwent Gators, Manchester Ravens, Grangemouth Colts, and Exeter Falcons make up the rest of our playoff teams. And that gives us a cut line of almost 60% win percentage, which is pretty good. I'm not sure if I think that's up on last year. So yeah, really competitive. I do have the last couple of years. Paul sent them through for me, and
it's nuts.
I can't remember the cut line from last year, but it's very tight. So just missing out at 50% or above, where the Sharks be the Warthogs in their first season. Brilliant run from the Warthogs. Coyotes start one of those unfortunate teams, started the day in a playoff spot.
They were in, yeah,
and now they're out. Aberdeen Silvercats left themselves too much to do, basically at 50%, finishing. One of those teams with an odd number of games that also finished at bang on 50% at 9-1. And then, rounding off below them are the Titans, Tridents, the Longhorns, the Huntsmen, the Vikings, the Bears, the Stingrays, the Panthers B, the Killer Bees, the Roosters, the Stingers, the Comets, the Kings 2, the Marauders, the Giants Black, the Wolfpack, the Gunslingers, the Frenzy, our friends at the Calderdale Locomotives, the Chorley Buccaneers, and the short-lived Berkshire Renegades. So short-lived, in fact, that they still have, by far, the worst points difference in the league.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, negative 61.7 points per game.
Yeah, that hurts.
That
Ow.
Yeah, that'll hurt when you wake up in the morning, won't it?
Yeah, you don't want to look at that.
So yeah, let's move up from there. Right, yeah, should we just do playoff chat? Let's do playoff chat.
Yeah, why not?
Does that mean it's a time for that's a new topic, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't have another hat though. I do technically have something.
Got another hat? Okay, right.
I think I've got something.
Hat change. There we go. Got a little pirate hat for you. There you go. What do you think of that? Oh, Tree's got. I'm guessing this came out of his mystery box. Tree is currently tying on a red, orange almost, maybe orange, Nuola flag headband.
There we go.
He looks like a freaking ninja.
I feel like I'm either Matty Ross or Stevie Cliff right now. I'm either one of those guys. I don't know who, but I have my headband on now. That's it. I'm a different player. I'm going to turn into Angry Tree now. Red Mist Tree. That's
Red
it.
Mist.
Red Mist
The Red
Tree.
Mist. The Red
Yep.
Mist. That's a blast.
This will be my. I'll wear this at playoffs, Bez, and I'll bring out Red Mist Tree for my first game. You know, that's get a whole different me. You get playoff tree. Whoa.
Playoff tree. I've not seen playoff tree for quite some time. I'm very looking forward to it.
Been a while.
Probably since, yeah.
Oh, since my Manchester Titan. No, was it?
No, it was you came third. Was it the year before the pandemic?
So the first year was when we beat the Manchester Titans, and then when we missed the Glasgow Hornets, and we came 6th overall. And then the year after, I can't remember what happened in those playoffs. We didn't really have a good run. I think we got beaten like the first game, and that kind of put us in like the sort of down below. Yeah. I can't really remember that year, unfortunately. But I've had a good playoff run. I've got up to 6th before, and we've had a good season. So
yeah. So wildcard game 1 will be the Victoria Park Panthers 11-3 versus the Exeter Falcons at 9-6-1. Two teams from quite far away.
Do they play each other? Have they played each other already this season?
They will.
I'm just thinking they're south.
They will.
I can try and gain that result in my social media prowess, Bez, to see what happened. Because Exeter do post the results. Oh, I've actually got Exeter on my little recently searched list. When do you think they played them?
So, week 2, maybe.
Oh, that's game day 4. Game day 2.
I don't know. As a total guess, I can't.
Did you just guess? Oh, I'm actually going off what you said.
Exeter Falcons lost to the Victoria Park Panthers 51-13 in their first meeting.
That's the one I'm after.
So yeah, and it was week 2 as well. What a guess that was.
How do you know that? You've got some mad skills,
I know that because VPP's their division had a week 1 bye, and so their first games of the season were cross conference. So it would either have been then or week 4, I think, or week 3.
Right. There we go.
So it was an educated guess, but it was.
It was a good guess.
Nonetheless, it was still a guess.
VPP will be strong. They've only lost 3 games all season. Like they'll be hard done by to be the 9 seed. I think like if you're only losing 3 games, it is mental when you look
especially,
as far as
and like part of it, to be fair, is because they never got the chance to play the Renegades who were in their division. So they're missing 2 games there. So they they would have been, if they're 13-3, up we go.
They'll win that. I hate to say it for Ed. I love Ed. Love the guy, but that's not nice on a Sunday morning at Platt Lane. I see VPP probably winning that one quite comfortably, and getting through to the next round.
Yeah, so game 2 for the 3rd time this season, and it'll be the 4th time by the time we get there. The West Lothian Chargers and the Grangemouth Colts are going to travel all the way down to Middle England
to play each other again, even though they literally. I hang on. Here's one for you, Bez. How close do you think Grangemouth and West Lothian are? Like the last game days. Like how close do you think it is?
Grangemouth to Livingston.
Google Maps.
Is it Livingston? Where's the?
So they played just over the bridges actually. So they played about sort of. I think it was Broxburn they played in.
And then they played at Winchborough. It was Winchborough. It was the new facility at Winchborough.
Right. It's Grangemouth Rugby. I'm just going to do the Brox.
I reckon I'm going to say 28 minutes.
By car. It is a 24-minute drive.
Oh, come on, Bez.
And it's only 16 miles. And now, so from being only 16 miles apart, we now have to drive. Where's the bell? Where's Platt Lane? Platt Lane, Manchester.
It's near the Etihad.
Is 223 miles and 4 hours and 11 minutes. Where we could have just drove 50 minutes along the road, 25 minutes along the road to play the same game.
Your boy here's getting the train. I can't wait.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go yet. So
anyway, yes. So Chargers.
That'll be a good game.
Colts.
I'll be going for my three-peat.
Another good game. The three-peat. Can he make it 3 in a row? For our Irish friends. So yeah, we'll have. I'm sure we'll be previewing all of these games properly the week of. So don't worry. We've only got to get through the World Championships before then. And then there's a delicious matchup, right?
I love this one.
14-5 plays 10, 6, and 2. Samurai Ravens.
That's going to be a good
For
game.
me, potentially, we'll do our research, but potentially that's got to be close to game of the round.
Yeah, I like that one.
They're
Both ends.
both three net points a game apart. Records are not dissimilar. Yeah, they'll be up for it. Ravens, one of the three rookie teams, to have clinched in their first season of existence, and that leaves us the middle game, the one that's always really challenging to call, is the Honey Badgers and the Gwent Gators, and not a rematch that we've seen before.
No, I'm pleased for the Honey Badgers though. They were kind of not out, but like they were kind of from where they were when I played them in the Prem, to where they ended up to where they've now got back to. It's a story in itself. Like, fair play to the lads for sticking at it. So to see them back in the playoffs, nice work.
For sure, very cool. And from there, the 4 winners of those matchups are going to feed into the Bucks Wolves, the West Lancashire Serpents, the Sheffield Giants, and the Border City Centurions. So that's going to get, if it went by seeding as well, and I apologise to you, Tree, because that would mean that you've lost. I don't think we would get any rematches either, which would also be quite cool. So, because that would give you VPP Border City, it would give you Chargers Sheffield, it would give you Samurai Serpents, and it would give you Honey Badgers Bucks Wolves. So none of them will have played each other this year.
They've not played each other.
So
unless we cause an upset again.
Unless you cause an upset, in which case you would.
So is the round of 8? Do we know this? Is it seeded, or is it just like matchups? Do we know?
So
I don't actually know the answer.
It's been seeded. So the Premiership is definitely seeded, and they work.
Prem is definitely seeded,
and the WFFL is seeded as well. So I'm pretty sure it'll be seeded.
Right. Okay.
Because it's one format for them all.
Because if we do beat the Chargers, we'll be the worst seed.
Yes.
So that means we'd play the Centurions.
No, you'd be the worst seed. So you'd get the Bucks Wolves, unless the Falcons also win.
And then we upset the Bucks Wolves, and then we have to just go upset the Swansea Hammerheads. I mean, it's a delicious pathway
in the quarterfinals, and then that would mean that if everything else went by seeding, you would meet your club mates, the Grangemouth Mustangs, in the semi-finals before our friends from the Northeast, honorary HNC team after their consistent Winter League prowess, the Newcastle Blackhawks.
They've been playing well this season.
They have been playing very well this season. I hope they get promoted. In my biased world, if they get promoted, they can host a cross-conference game. So they better get promoted.
They better.
They better get promoted. There will be on playoff weekend. There will be no larger Blackhawks fan outside of Newcastle than this guy here from his wee village in the Highlands. Trust me on this. They might get themselves an inspirational speech. You never know.
We're ready for it. I'm ready for a Ravens one. After getting called out for not doing the one for the Ravens the last time, I need to up my Ravens speeches.
Unfortunately, I think the only place you guys can play the Ravens is actually in the final. So
or a plate.
So many things have to happen for that.
A lot. I don't know how we're going to get on. Being a low seed, this is the challenges. We're going to have to go through the best. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm quietly confident. Like, if we had a full strength squad, if we didn't have such a bad start of the season, we could have been a little bit higher up and avoided this. But I think we've gave the Centurions a scare. We've given the Serpents a game. We gave the Ravens a game. We've beat the Chargers already a couple of times. Like, the Mustangs were kind of close. So we've been there or thereabouts. So I don't see us being a million miles away. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect best. If I'm there, yay. If I'm not there, good luck to the team. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. And our intro gets new commentary coverage if there's any live streams this year.
I have no information on that, but we'll see.
Nah, I haven't heard anything. Anyways,
we'll see.
Divulge.
We do. Okay, so in the Premiership, Chichester Sharks, Northants Titans. That's a rematch. Sharks, obviously.
I like that one.
On the head-to-head, they are the. Not that it would have made any difference either way because they're going to play each other. But Sharks are the higher ranked team. Devils Neptunes, I reckon, is for a 5-12 game, because we've seen some 5-12 games in the past which have not been anything. Like, they've not been competitive. They've not been. I think if Reading bring their top 12 dudes, Cheltenham bring their top 12 dudes, I'm still favouring Reading, but I think it's a good game. I think it's a good game for the neutral. I think it's a good game for the football fan. I think it's a good game just to, just to
Yeah,
be
because
around.
if I'm down watching Bez, if I'm there, well, which I will be, because my plan is to come down both days, I'm not sure what field I'm standing between. I'm torn a little bit here
Yeah.
because, like, I don't get to see Chichester that often, but they've got some young, super duper talent that I love watching. I've seen them obviously a few times when they came up here, didn't they? Like Reading, a bunch of those lads are sound. I've got a bit of a relationship with some of them. Obviously, haven't played with them and been around them, so again, like watching those guys. And then we have these next two matchups, which are yeah,
HNC.
interesting with HNC representation.
Manchester Titans, Aberdeen Oilcats. I'll be honest, this is minging for us.
Yeah.
This is
It's not ideal.
This is absolutely minging. I know that for us, obviously, like last year when we went down to Manchester, we didn't have everyone.
Yeah.
This year in Edinburgh again, we didn't have everyone, but but regardless of that, over the last two games, they've scored 110 points on us, right? So or 100 and something points on us, right? So like the guys we're missing are good, but I don't know if they're like
110.
I don't know if there's a 40 game swing, a 40-point swing in those particular matchups. So yeah, we're gonna have to get our heads down in the build up to that and
look after the ball
and see how we get on against them. It's a good redemption arc, I think, for us. That'll be the head game. I think that'll be it. I think it'll be no one expects us to win this anyway. They were fourth last year, made a semi-final. Yeah. Having them as low as the 7th seed is surprising.
Oh, very. I don't think anyone would have said that at the start of the season.
So yeah, I mean, I think the only people that would have said that at the start of the season would have been their city mates in maroon. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes, and then wildcard 4, Grangemouth Broncos, Edinburgh Outlaws, in a rematch of last year's first round wildcard game.
Again.
They're going to go again. It does mean that we're obviously guaranteed a HNC team in the quarterfinals, which is very cool. But yeah, it's that's it.
We'll good wildcard round though.
Good
wildcard
round.
I do like those matchups. They're all spicy. I think someone one of the comments we had when we get there was, thinking about Div 1 and how, the bottom teams, how many teams get in, for example. That's where the Prem differs. Is like these 12 teams, like you don't want to face any of them. Like they're all good, competent American flag football teams. Any one of those games could go. As you're saying, Reading Devils should clean that one up, you'd expect. But the others, it's just whoever looks after the ball, Bez, who has better clock management, and who's going to step up and make a play.
Yeah.
And that's, for us, the reason why we love flag football, is those games could go either way, especially in the wildcard round. Quarterfinals, we'll throw in the big dogs and see what happens.
Quarterfinals are where it starts to get interesting with the with the additions of the various teams. So there's some pretty pretty out there matchups potentially the whole way around. But it only takes one upset for everything to Yeah, I guess there's not even one that you can really.
The only one that kind of would annoy me is for you guys. Like, just say you go on to beat the Manchester Titans, being the potential lowest seed if Broncos and Reading have their way, you end up with the Hornets in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So
Our potential path is bruising. So we wouldn't meet. Yeah, potentially we wouldn't meet a team we've not played yet if we won all of our games until the semi-final.
That's crazy. And the thing is, the guys that you're like playing against are just so good.
That's the way that's just the way it checks out, isn't it? Like, you can't.
Yep.
I know there's always some discussion about like bringing back like regionality, and like forcing teams, forcing the number 1 seed in the north to play the number 6 in the south or whatever like that. But I'm not convinced that gets you I think that would get you the right answer in the end, I think, but it's a bit convoluted, isn't it? Like, We've got a whole
It's
league.
difficult.
We've
yeah.
got a whole league system to rank teams 1 to 12, and if you have to play a rematch, you have to play a rematch. Like, yeah, it's not that much fun, but like,
Yeah, it's kind of, you don't want to go down to the route. I think someone mentioned in a group chat I saw was like, you should at least in the first round play a team that you haven't played, but then what's the point in the seedings throughout the whole season? It kind of makes it a bit redundant then, I
yeah,
guess.
it's like it's adding a manual process into something that is done on merit. Like you're then asking for human decision making, and if there's one thing we've learned this week, it's like adding in human decision making to the spreadsheet will definitely not make things better.
We won't talk about that. Yeah, the only way I can see around it is like, just imagine you split Div 1 north, south, and you just take like, I want the top 8 for the north, the top 8 for the bottom, and then the first round it's basically 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and that way you're guaranteed to play a southern team in that first round, arguably. So there's maybe a potential avenue for the future. Whoever ends up with flag, that's a whole other conversation for another day. But as of right now, it's a pain having to go all the way down and play Chargers. It's also a privilege, I guess, that you're going to go in more prepared. You're at least going to know the guys you're playing. Like, at least if we play the Chargers, like, I know all of them. They everyone knows each other, and it's going to at least be, although maybe potentially chirpy, we're all mates at the end of the day. We'll always play each other all the time. The chat's going to be fine. So at least if you're going down for either a minimum of like one game, at least it's going to be, you're prepared. And that's what we will be. I'll probably end up going with a new playbook and like a different defensive set to kind of put them off. But that's just the things you've got to do in preparation for it, Bez, isn't it? So yeah, so the Prem, I think the only other one I was going to add to the Prem, Bez, which caught my eye, I don't know, again, you're a man of numbers and stats, is the quarter-final matchup. Because the Manchester Crows would get the highest remaining seed, which would be the Reading Devils.
Yeah.
And I like that as a quarter-final. Like, like Reading Devils, Crows, that's spicy.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that one. Because that then really, like, Reading Devils have an opportunity then, potentially, as the weakest quarter-final team, saying that about the Crows, which is quite hard to say out loud, puts them in a good semi-final position. But again, who does that put them up against?
If Reading...
Be the Hornets, I think, innit? Got to go by seed, because then Reading would be the lowest seed, and then Hornets would play the highest seed.
Same way, yeah. But that would also give you, like... Yeah, but like that also gives you a rematch of last year's semi-final as well. It gives you Grangemouth versus London.
Yeah.
Because London have slipped down to 3. Yeah. So
there's a few interesting things in there that can happen. But we'll talk about it later when we get closer. We'll get the palpitation.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely see where it takes us. And then finally next weekend, as in the 10th, not the one. Not tomorrow.
I didn't realize this was so soon, by the way.
Yeah,
I should have known. But I feel as though it's just like, oh, that's next weekend, Bez.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like
a huge amount of messing around. So promotion in this, I think everywhere except the north is the Saturday, and then the north is the 11th, is the Sunday. So we've got the Phoenix, the Gators, the Hammerheads, and the Wolves in the southwest. Gotta think this is the Hammerheads. Like they've been banging on the door now for years.
I'd imagine they have to.
It's one of those things. If they don't, then something is surely.
Because then that makes, imagine next year, Cardiff Hurricanes, Swansea Hammerheads twice a year, cross conference, Reading Devils, Swansea Hammerhead, London Smoke. Ah, yes, give it to me.
Gets very silly very quickly.
It does.
Who the second team is in that? Phoenix Gators or Bucks Wolves? That is delicious. I don't know.
I couldn't pick any of those, to be fair.
I don't know. Phoenix, for me, they take part in a lot of tournaments. A lot of their guys travel. Like, they've obviously been in the Prem. They are experienced. But obviously, you end up in the promotion tournament in the play-in. Like, it's tough. It's a long season to have been beat down every week to then have to try and turn around and win a tournament in that long format. But, yeah, that one will be... I think that'll be fun. But... I mean, I like the Wolves.
I think the Bucks Wolves, based on what I saw it, Flag in Ironman, Flag in New Year. I can't remember. I have saw them quite physical, quite quick. From what I've seen of them in person, yeah, they do okay.
Yeah. Spark Flash, Waveney Wolves, and VPP in the promotion tournament. Tough one from the Flash. I think they're on QB at one point this season. They were on QB5. That will entirely depend on who they've got available.
Who's slinging the ball? The QB is such an important, integral role, isn't it?
The concern for them will be not the concern, but the concern if you're a Div 1 team is if they do come down and then they even get QB2 back next year, they might run that division.
They'll just run up and go straight back up.
And go straight back up again. So, Waveney Wolves will obviously be thinking
good team again.
They're in a good chance. They've played well this year. They've scored a lot of points. VPP exactly the same. Played less games, but still in with a shout. So yeah, I mean those London teams are always hard to play against. So that'll be pretty exciting. Promotion tournament: Bees, Revs, Blackhawks, Giants, Blue.
This is always an awkward one, isn't it?
This is a weird one. Obviously, massive Newcastle guy here for the next 2 weeks. I could see a total swap here. I could see Newcastle and Sheffield coming up, and Warrington and Manchester down again.
I'm with you on that one as well. I mean, I could see this going completely flipped, and also that they can literally beat each other. Like Jake, obviously from Warrington, is next level talent. Like I don't know if he's still there. Keeps playing for Bees. A superb player. And then Titans Bees are that bridge between the Tridents and Titans main team. Like they're gonna have talent in there. But this season's obviously been challenging for them. Like if they lost guys as the seasons went on, have they matured and got better as the seasons got on? It's just unfortunate it came late in the season to be here. And I kind of know the people I feel sorry for bits. Serpents and Centurions.
Yeah.
Missing out.
Tough.
It's a tough one to take. Yeah.
That is unfortunately with the potential for 3 divisions to feed into 1 Premiership spot. You know, because if a North team wins the Midlands division, you've potentially got 3 division winners fighting for 2 spots. That could be tough.
I mean, what
obviously
would be
here? That's not what happened, but
no. But couldn't you say? I know the playing tournament is top 2, bottom 2, and I know for the North you couldn't. But just hear me out. If you did take those 2 teams in, now that's too many games to play in a day. No way at that level you couldn't. Even if you wanted to,
you couldn't play into the play-in.
Yeah, kind of. So you'd have probably maybe not a full weekend, but a week apart or something.
A super weekend.
Super weekend, Biz. Where we have the top 4 of Div 1 play in, and the top 2 go through to play the bottom 2, and that way at least then it's fair. Well, I mean it is fair in the sense of the season, but the forfeits and the abandoned games, and it's not ideal, but I do feel for them that winning your division, you should at least have an opportunity.
It's not ideal, but like you say, the ways to fix it are expensive. Basically,
they're expensive. They're not ideal. It's too much travel. There's too many games in a day. Something physically would have to change with the structure, I think, with that North Prem to make it viable, and increasing the Premier League to have an extra, arguably 2 more divisions, because you'd have to have Highlands versus North remains the same, Southwest, Southeast remains the same. Then you have like a Midlands 1 and 2. That would be the only way I could see it like being equal measured numbers for the cross conference thing to work out.
I don't think there's enough teams of
that
standard.
No, there isn't, and that's what brings to that point. It's like there wouldn't be enough teams then to potentially there would the bubble gap then, as we've kind of spoken about before.
Yeah,
correct. You would dilute it far too much. There would be too much of a difference in top to bottom. It's not really ideal. So I feel for the guys. Unfortunately, it's just the situation we're in. So hopefully they just come back next year just with that chirp and just stick it to them next season. Don't leave anything on the table, and just go out and play hard. But these ones, Beds, I couldn't tell you out of the 4 here. Not a clue.
No.
I wouldn't really be bothered either way.
Go Blackhawks.
But go Blackhawks. Yeah, well, we'll say the Blackhawks. We'll give the Blackhawks. Let's go Blackhawks.
for very selfish reasons, go Blackhawks.
Yeah, because even if we get promoted as well, that'd be nice.
Again, like Manchester's fine, Warrington's fine, Sheffield's fine. I've been to all of these places.
Same, yeah.
Newcastle is it's just like 5 hours total
And that's
saves for me.
Yeah.
So
bliss, man. Bliss.
And then obviously closer to home in Dundee, we've got the Raptors, the Mustangs, the Chargers, and the Colts.
Yeah. What a day this will turn out to be.
Yeah. To be honest, to me, that's.
I'll let you start. Yeah.
Like, thing about the Raptors is they're not the Raptors that we're used to, right? Like they're not.
No,
like
they're not.
Like they're missing some guys. However, like there's still Ben. There's still Ross. Noah's coming along really well, playing for the Raptors, and obviously part of the Scoff team that went abroad. Like they're still there.
Are the Raptors a top 2 team in Div 1 this season? Yes. Like, so are they going to come back straight back up again if they were to go down? Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel for the Raptors.
Yeah, it's like we've chatted about that. We chatted about that last year, that potentially they're right on the.
They're the bubble team.
They're the yo-yo team. And yeah, it's unfortunate for.
I think
Murray.
if you,
I
how
think
many
Murray
teams are in Prem? 6.
6, yeah.
If you put that to 8, the Raptors would probably not be anywhere near. They'd be above relegation if the league was 8. It's just unfortunate there's only 6 in there, and 4 of them are great teams.
Well, that's the thing with the HNC this year, is you're either a playoff team or you're a relegation team. And there's nothing in the middle.
There's nothing in the middle.
There's no like I'm safe, marked safe from someone trying to kill you.
See, that's where the argument to making the Prem just a tiny bit bigger, but then is the gap too big, because then the conversation then turns into, okay, if the Hornets are playing, say, the Chargers or the Colts, like that's a lot of points. That's a wide berth.
I unfortunately think the only argument at the moment with the teams we have is to make the Premiership smaller, but that's again prohibitively expensive. Like, I've written a blog on it and I've put my opinions out there, but that's not going to happen because it requires a super weekend, and it's prohibitively expensive. Like you can't have Edinburgh playing a double round robin against London at the moment, or Cardiff, or Chichester. Like it's not, in the current landscape, it's not feasible. Maybe one day it will be, but right now it's just not. However, that does also mean that with net points per game, you have to punch down when you get a chance.
Big time. Like
you have to be ruthless, especially if you look at, Newcastle and Sheffield did not play the Serpents or the Centurions, right? So the only thing that the Serpents and the Centurions could have done on the final day of the season to get past the Giants is to smash the lower teams. And even then it wasn't enough because they played a different amount of games. Yep. So the win percentages were never even tied. Like that's the unfortunate reality of it, is when you get an opportunity to smash down, you have to smash down,
You got to. I said that earlier in the season. There was a situation where we had the ball, we were already up 35 points. The clock was running because of mercy rule. I'm like, at the end of the season, though, guys, you got to remember this might come down to net point per game. It might. Like this extra 7 points might seem absolutely pointless now, and you might think I'm being an absolute silly head. I tried to get away with that one there. Everyone else can fill in the words. And I might appear like that I'm doing that, but it's not. If you come to the end of the season and we don't get in because of net points per game, you just remember this moment where you said you wanted to just kneel this one out. Just remember that. And it's rubbish, it's awkward, it's horrible, but it's a landscape that we live in. We have to just get on with it. So is the solution to make the Prem slightly bigger to avoid this situation? Because I'll go on a limb. Like, I don't mind saying it, and everyone here can shoot me down. Whoever gets promoted is going to be in exactly the same situation next year. Exactly the same. Any of those 4 teams, if they go up, they'll be in the promotion tournament next season again. I'd not put my mortgage on it, but
brave.
I would go out on a limb and say I'd be very confident that that's what would happen, which is unfortunate and just the circumstance that we're in best. But so Raptors, I don't know. Will they want to stay up? I'd imagine they would.
I think.
But they've had such short. They've had like 6 players at some point. They had 5, not 6.
Consistently short players. Yeah. This is going to be one of those things that I think a lot of teams are having their way. Like the penalty dished out by the league for not attending a promotion tournament.
It's true.
Is that you don't play in the playoffs in September. So teams have to go and they have to play, even if they don't necessarily want to be promoted. And that makes it weird. Like I'm sure there's a lot of teams out there that are having that exact thought. Like, do we actually want
well,
given everything that we've just said about how the top teams have no choice but to punch down, do we want to go and get punched down on for a year?
Yeah, that I see exactly. And I've heard it. I've heard chat on the sidelines like, do I don't want to go play Prem. Like, why would I want to do that? The travel, like going all the way down to play like the Titans or the Hornets and getting beat like 60, 70 to a few scores. It's not fun. And like, think of the situation where we've got potentially the Colts, the Mustangs, and the Broncos, potentially all 3 Grangemouth teams in the Prem. And we've had a brief conversation on this, Bess, but like, if you're struggling for game time in Div 1 because you're competitive, what's the game time going to be like in the Prem? Like, horrible. Like, the minutes you're going to get are not because your team's up by 30. The minutes you're going to getting is because you're down by like 70 potentially. Potentially that could happen.
Yeah.
And there is potential for that to happen, and I can see it happening. That's not nice. Like, that's not fun. I've been in one of those games and it's not good. So the resilience of your players, and you have to go in with an understanding. If you go into Prem, this is a whole other level. You've got to be committed. You've got to train well. If you want to be competitive, you've got to stick in. So, like, I see whoever goes up here having a hard time, but I'd be very pleased for the Mustangs to go up as a rookie club and see what they can do. I'd be very pleased for the Chargers to kind of keep continuing on their trajectory of performance and improvement. Go stick it in the Prem now. Let's see how you get on. And, you know, for the Colts, I still think there should be at least one Grangemouth team in Div 1 just for participation, for development, for giving players opportunity to play. I think don't get me wrong, do I want to have a season with the Colts in the Prem with the experience that I've got? Could I get them a few wins this season? I mean, I don't see why not. I've done it before.
Have a bash.
But is that ideal for the club, Bez?
Yeah, and that's where I think it comes. Like, if you put your if we change hats once again and put our club management hats on,
I don't have another hat this time, Bez.
It's a situation that we've both been in as sitting on club committees. Like, it is something you think about. You know, you don't necessarily voice it with the players, but you know, if we have 2 teams in the Prem, do we have to start a third team? Do we not start a third team? Can we support that? Do we have enough players to not, forfeit all our games? Do we then have to manage and trying not to lose players if they get,
Yeah, and it gets awkward. I mean, wait, was it not the Killer Bees? I don't know if they didn't want to get promoted.
So Killer Bees were in the scenario of playing very, very well in 2019.
Yeah.
No season in 2020. Season that didn't count in 2021, where they got punched down on by all the Premiership teams that were in the same division as the Div 1 teams. And then they had to actually play in 2022 in the Premiership. So they basically spent 2 years in the Premiership knowing they were going to get relegated, but they couldn't be relegated in the first one.
I just don't know whether, I don't think teams would intentionally lose. I don't think so.
It's really hard to do. It's hard to intentionally lose as well without being obvious about it.
If it so happened, just say, hypothetically, all 3 Grangemouth teams were in the Prem, only thing I worry about is club morale across the board. Like, sticking together although it's going to be tough. Are you going to lose players? How does that affect training numbers, travel numbers? Like, even at one point this year, Bez, I was worried about the Colts because we had no Stevie Cliff, we had no Bruni, we had no Megan, we had no Jimmy. Arnie was out. Like, we missed Ali for the first a couple games in there. Like, there's times where you're missing really key guys in the Prem. You can't do that. I do worry. Again, I'm slightly not worried if you hear me out. Because I'll say I probably should not be there because my wife gives birth on the 6th of August, and this is on the 10th.
Yeah,
I
don't-
would
don't-
be...
If that happens, don't go.
No. Well, no, it
Don't-
is happening. That's
don't
our
do that.
cesarean date.
Oh,
I'm in.
right, okay,
Like, that is,
you've
we
got-
are
you have
definitely...
a day. Right,
It'll
okay.
either be before or on the 6th. The baby will not be any longer than that. So I'll have a 4-day-old child. And as much as I think I'd love to go play, and Karen says, we'll see how things go, I will not be there. No, I that's the sign for if you go, you're dead.
Yeah. You can go, just don't come back.
Yeah.
yeah. By the time you get back, the locks will be changed.
I've been with Karen now for like 18, 19 years. I know the drill. I know the face, I know the words. So I doubt I'll be there. So I obviously good luck to all the teams that do go. I hope it's competitive. I hope whoever wins on the day, enjoy your time in the Prem. And if not, I'll maybe see some of you guys next season. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm playing next year, but hopefully I can see some guys.
On the Chargers, I feel like as long time into coin a phrase that some of our long-time listeners may remember, long-time Charger watchers, this is the exact trajectory that when we first spoke about the Charger Watch getting their first win in the Div 1 since they came back, took them a season, they got there, then last year they were 500. And then
something
this year,
like that, yeah.
something like that, yeah. Last year, 500, just outside the playoffs. We said this year for them is the playoff year, and they've done it. Yeah, they've done it. They're in a playoff spot. They're in a play-in game for the Premiership. Fucking way to go.
That's awesome.
Got to mark it as
that's 2 now. Yeah. What's the ESPN show where they do first and 30 or whatever it is? The shows where they recap
30 and 30 where they track
30 and 30 with the Chargers, right? They're full circle in regards to where they've come from to where they've got to. And then we just restart Charger Walks next season, which I mean is not a bad thing for us. We'll get the beers at the ready. First one in the Prem. It starts all over again. So that's exciting content for us.
It's been a cool since their return, it's been a very cool trajectory for them. So yeah, congratulations to them in a big way. So on Instagram, the last thing we'll do here, and then we'll go. The last thing we do.
I saw this. What did you get, Bez?
So
I mean, when you get community involved, things happen.
So I got pet. Well, I didn't get petty. I got a bit petty. So for those of you that may have missed it, on Tuesday night when it was all kicking off and my phone was going mental, I threw out to the flag community, I think it was Wednesday morning, on social media, is there anything that you would like us to discuss? Because I knew the flag community were reaching for their pitchforks and lighting their fires and stuff. So and so I asked you guys for some ideas for things to talk about, and as expected, you guys are unbelievable, both in your creativity, your hilarity, and your pettiness. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to all of you. Some of them did make me laugh. I'm not going to name and shame because just for those of you that aren't aware of how Instagram works, when you reply to the question, I can see who you are, but when I share your answer, it looks anonymous, right? So I can see everyone who wrote this, but don't worry. As always, your anonymity is protected.
So we will look after you.
We will always look after you. So there was, I think I would split it into two camps. There was the people who are outrightly taking the piss.
Okay. We like those. We like them.
With ideas for topics such as the absolute audacity of BAFA even existing at this point.
I mean, who runs flag anyway? Who knows?
We had. Would you guys consider sharing your accurate seedings to the league so they could? It
was true in the end.
It was true. Could have done that. Will you guys share your secrets at staying up to date with the league?
Communication, Bez. I can share that one.
And then how to be petty and does it work in today's modern society? So that was just a handful. Oh, and who do you think should have won the flag football tender?
If only we knew who they were. Like, surely
Yeah.
an FOI request we can go through. We can do our analysis
Yeah,
and we can work out who it was.
I would, we do love marking forms on the show. It's been
Yeah,
a while
does
since we've done it. But
anyone
if
want
we
to
had
send
the-
in an anonymous like tip, like, hey, here's maybe a tender that got submitted, and we can review it to actually see what was said.
If anyone at BAFA wants to
Yeah.
leak all the tender submissions, then
Yeah,
the
we won't
inbox
name
is
and
open.
shame. Yeah, we'll take ideas.
And then there was the more kind of realistic ones, which were there was a suggestion to name our team of the season.
Oh, like
It's quite a good
overall,
idea.
like players, or just like an overall team?
So I think you could do both. I think you could pick a club and say team of the season, surprised us, and then I think you could also create a team based off of individual players.
I could do a HNC Div 1 one for us, maybe. That's maybe a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Cool.
There was a suggestion of reforming the playoff structure so that teams 12 to 16 go straight into the play.
You mentioned this one earlier. That's what got me thinking about it.
Yeah. Because they get killed by the seeding anyway.
Yeah,
it's the second half of that message. There was a gambling degenerate out there that has asked me to come up with betting odds of each team winning the national championship.
Is that Bet365 in your inbox, Bez?
So the thing about that is, right, if you could bet on
that's
flag
peaked
football,
you. That's peaked you.
Right?
Okay.
The thing about this is, if I offer betting odds, then someone will try and give me money, and I don't have the ability to pay out if they win. So,
I mean, if you think about all the obscure sports that you find, like I've heard a Mr. Guthrie tell me, I was watching like the Colombian Division 4 under-17 girls,
football,
and I'm like,
mate, unreal, electric factory.
All right, cool. I won £100 last night. I'm like, I have no idea who even who that would be. I mean, it's not far-fetched that your top-level British American flag football leagues would be available for betting on. It's not too far-fetched.
I reckon maybe not this Worlds.
Before the Olympics.
Tell you what, by the way.
It's not a bad idea.
By the way, this comes with an extreme disclaimer of if you choose to put a bet on, that's on you, and it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Olympic
bet responsibly.
Olympic betting is elite. Please gamble responsibly.
Can you bet on the Olympics? You probably can.
Of course you can.
I've not even looked. Because you think I was watching the other day, Bez. I don't know if you what sports are you're acquire. We never spoke about stadiums. I need to come back to that. I had a question for you. The swimming. Like there was like 7 of them split by like a 10th of a second on one of the events. I was like, that is unbelievable,
mate. And you know how many different types of boat there are for the sailing? You can bet on all of them. It's great.
That's mental. I'll come back to stadium. Remind me stadiums.
Yes. Okay. Well, the other ones were. That was kind of it, really. There was a couple on your favorite tournament structure.
Oh,
how to avoid rematches in seedings, and someone was like, talk about the World Championships. We will, don't you worry.
We will. Well, that's on the cards. Yeah.
That's coming soon.
Stadiums, Bez. Stadiums. Right. We had a conversation a wee while ago, but I won't keep you long here, Bez. I know we're getting on. But you said to me, "Hey, Tree, have you saw the beach volleyball stadium?" And I was like,
good.
Amazing. Looks
good.
Great. Even watching the beach volleyball, like, yes, I'm involved. Yep, love it. I have one for you though here, Bez. Have you watched? Well, that also amazing. I love the building that it's in.
Yeah.
It looks incredible, very iconic, very French. Even like the cross country horse racing. It looked like it's ridden in parks. Anyways, it got me thinking about flag football. Have you watched the basketball?
No, I haven't.
So I think the basket. Don't get me wrong. There's another sport. Now it's Lille. It's the football stadium. But what they've done is they've cut it in half. So half of it's basketball, and there's 19,000 people in there. And then the other half, I believe it's handball.
Oh, weird. But good.
So what you're still taking a whole stadium. So now going back to our conversation we had
at the same time.
Yes, so that's where you can hear really weird audio when someone cheers.
So weird. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah,
I'll have to watch it.
Watch the basketball. Like I've been watching the USA and all that because I paid for my Discovery Plus. You can watch on the BBC coverage, but it's shocking. Discovery Plus like $4.99, and you get to watch every single sport. Yeah. Watch them back. Brilliant. I've been loving it. It's just a shame it's on a paywall.
Or just as a pro tip, if you're on EE, you can add it as a benefit to your phone bill.
Ooh,
so
that's a tip. Oh, good to know. There's the hot tip. I didn't know that.
You know that one.
I'm not a EE, but that's a good
like
one.
Discovery Plus.
So what I was thinking is, like, for flag football in America, if you had, say, the Alliance Arena or whatever arena is in LA, I don't really know, it's in half. A flag football pitch fits across the way in half.
Yeah.
And it would be a great stadium. Like, imagine like a proper, like, I don't think you're going to fill a flag football match with fans, like 17,000 fans, like going to watch, like, yesterday it was America versus South Sudan. The rafters were rammed.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
if you
because
get
it's
the
like
American,
it's like NBA players, isn't it?
exactly,
Like the French
that's
love basketball. So
yeah. If you watch some of the other games, like Ross Dawkins is across there, and he watched a couple of the other, like, Brazilian women team and stuff like that. It's been quiet, and he's got tickets nearly courtside. Now, flag football is not going to fill up a stadium, but I was thinking, Bez, would that be an idea for a stadium for flag football? Like, the Rose Bowl would be a good idea, but this, taking half a stadium, curtain down, proper animatronics, and then the other one, and again, that was my first idea, Best, to run past you, because I know you're a stadium and you like this stuff. Have you seen the brand new Los Angeles Clippers arena? And if you haven't,
they're not Staples Center, right?
it's at the Intune Center or something.
Yeah.
And it looks like the board up the top goes on the inside, so when you're sitting, you can actually look up at the board and it goes round. But imagine you had, like, stats, pass completions. And I just got to think of, Bez, I'm in my Olympic mode. I'm like, oh, there are good ideas for stadiums. No, we could utilise that for flag. Anyways, that was my little
I'm
I got excited for it.
I don't know, like LA is cool. I'm not arguing that. But, like, there's never going to be anything as cool as beach volleyball under the Eiffel Tower. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not.
That's
like,
incredible.
It's just not. Like, that's it. That is it. That is pinnacle right there.
What would be the LA equivalent? The Hollywood sign?
Yeah, but it's on the side of a damn mountain. Like, you can't.
I know. You can see it in distance, maybe.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, there's always something going on in LA, but it is very spread out. So, on the subject of the LA, have you seen the insanity of where they're doing, so LA, right? They're including, I'm sure it's softball. Let me just check before I say something really stupid, right? So, canoe slalom, that's it. And
right.
Canoe slalom and softball are being played at the LA Olympics, obviously, right? Canoe slalom's obviously in Paris. It's been an Olympic event for decades, right? And then softball is one of the ones, like flag football, I think. I think it was in Tokyo. It's not in Paris, but it will be in LA, right?
Right.
That they're including. You know what venue they're using for that? For those two sports? You know where they're being played? For the LA 28 Olympics?
No idea.
Oklahoma City. Yeah. No idea why. It's not like there's no softball in LA.
I tried to say it to Karen, actually. I was like, oh, the basketball's not actually in Paris. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's in Lille.
Yeah, it's in Lille. Yeah. And my and the surfing's in Tahiti. So, because Tahiti is like a French republic or something. But yes, the next time we watch an Olympic Games opening ceremony, there will be flag football athletes behind the flag, which is nuts. Just nuts. It felt very real. We spoke about it a lot, and we will continue to
just
speak
see
about it.
Stepani just waving his flag.
It felt very real all of a sudden. Like, posted the graphic being like, next time this happens, it'll be flag. Felt very real. Felt very surreal. Yeah, I don't know. I felt a lot of things about it. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've got one other piece of kind of flag related news, Bez.
Okay.
Congratulations to Mr. Stepani on his engagement.
Yes, long-time friend of the show, multiple-time guest.
Yeah.
GB Lion, and yes, recently engaged. So congratulations to him.
I saw that. That made me a little bit happy inside. I was like, oh, that was nice.
Yes, absolutely. So on that happy note, we will we'll end the show there. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully that was a hoot. We will take our hats off now.
Oh yeah, it's roasting, man. Yeah. I am melting.
Yeah. Have a fantastic week wherever you are. We will be back with more build up to World Championships, promotion playoffs, the flag football finals. There's a whole lot of football going on, even though the regular season is now at a close for 2024. So it is goodbye from Tree
Goodbye, everybody.
It is goodbye from me. Thank you very much for listening. That is the way we HNC it.